very much. I heard this was the marathon where we're going to read the whole novel tonight, so we can get snacks, the whole thing. We're going to do it the whole thing. So thank you, Emily. It's great to be in Schuler's. My novel's made it. It's in a bookstore with other classics. You know, they say that my novel's a little bit autobiographical because in the novel, the protagonist, Milo Sonos, who's a painter, sees dead artists and hears dead artists. Well, people say, is that autobiographical? I said, well, a little bit. I can speak in here with books. And I've been communing with my own book, who's been really very, very happy here. They first put my book next to Dostoevsky and my book Complain. Said, this is very depressing. And so then they shifted him over to work with Kafka. And he said, there's a roach problem here. And I said, that's metamorphosis, please. So finally, he's with Proust. He said, that guy doesn't stop talking. And he remembers everything. So anyway, if you get my book and you bring it back home, make sure you put it next to Jane Eyre because my book thinks she's hot. So, so I'm going to start off with a little poetry reading to warm you up. It kind of all started with my poems getting published, and that opened the door to my novel getting published. And so how about a couple of poems? An honest mistake. Mirror, mirror in the stall, who is this man in this reverberating room who just moments ago excused himself and left his date to collect his thoughts and a few mints? And why is he splashing his face with tap water and then pressing his hands into prayer position in the air dryer while waiting for this night to end with a kiss? And now the object of his desire enters that sacred place and he realizes he's in the ladies' room. Dear me, there's a little insight into the life of a writer, what it's like. I pack and unpack my plans. I put on and take off tousled trousers in which I must take my next step. I call and then hang up on people that might or might not be pleasantly surprised by overdue confrontations or underwhelming overtures of conditional love. And then I write and rewrite my manifesto, which I toss out and then retrieve and then reread. And then I'm saved from myself by an unexpected invitation to lunch at Applebee's. This is, I don't know if you ever felt this way, this is called Cokehead. I want to hijack that big red Coca-Cola truck and then crisscross the country, high on sugar and caffeine, until they find me burping, bubbly, and hiccuping, a carbonated criminal, still fizzing after a high-speed chase with the fuzz. And now some words of wisdom. Freud would say you forgot something at my place because you subconsciously wanted to return. Jung would say there is a mystic reason why it has rained for 3 days straight since you walked out. But my mother would say I should drop you like a hot potato. I am but a cowboy, living in a western of words, burning like a cigarette dangling off the tips of my cracked lips, with an itch on my trigger finger, ready to bang out trilogies, anthologies, sequels, and prequels, until my last stanza, when I am surrounded by silencers, one high noon, listening to the whistling choo-choo, and knowing I won't catch that last train of thought. And there I will tumble with the weeds, as dog-eared history barks, for I was wanted both dead and alive, for shooting holes in the notions of folks around these parts. Here's a little, another snapshot of maybe my life, I don't know, anti-hero. It was within the context of that sweeping panorama that Larry Arabia found out his life was a desert and his marriage was a mirage. So instead of sticking his head in the sand, he smoked a Camel Light and used his blue Peter O'Toole eyes to seek out an oasis in the faces of the belly dancers who made his serpent rattle and rise. But finally that Technicolor vision cut to commercial and our hero realized he was just a couch potato and held only a remote control over his life. Rational anthem. What if nobody is watching? And this is truly a free-for-all, a free fall, a free-hand pitch at a free agent batter who knows the best things in life aren't free, and the cost of freedom is beads of sweat, blood, and battalions of freedom fighters, one nation under mystery with belief systems bursting from sea to shining sea. Just a little something you have. Note to self. Last night I woke up enlightened in the darkness by a single sentence. Okay, I vowed to tell the world tomorrow. This revealed the essentially mystery of it all. I'm sorry. I vowed to tell the world tomorrow, but then when I woke up in the morning, I realized that, damn it, I should have written it down. Where can it be? Okay, I will look under the table and out by the shed and over at Jamie's house, and I will check with the local police. And I will even place some signs in town, and if I could afford one, I would hire a private detective. Whether he looks like Bogart or not doesn't matter. What matters is that you lost something that can never be replaced, and we all want to do something about it. But eventually, someone will have to break it to you. Honey, your youth is gone. I'm just the messenger. Evaluation. Take a look at yourself. What is your marital status? Are you sufficiently housed? What is your net worth on the job market? Are your children showing scholastic aptitude? How healthy is your cholesterol? Would you say you are optimistic or pessimistic most of the time? I ask this because I am your self-esteem, and this is your daily pop quiz. And now a little snapshot into my life, and then we'll Hitchcockian tease. You led me on and left me on the edge of my leather couch thinking I was going to score a symphonic climax, complete with bombastic symbols. Instead, you announced you had to go, and you gathered up your clothing, turning me into a stuttering Jimmy Stewart. My only consolation being that my dog chewed up your high-heel shoes. The Outbox affair. The first email was a thank you for a great evening. The second one was to make sure they knew you just wanted friendship and maybe something more. The third email was just to say you're not desperate, just interested. And the fourth email was awkward and stilted, and it was sent at 4 a.m. The fifth email was borderline stalking, and the sixth email was ignored, the seventh deleted, and the eighth reported. The ninth email, which was an apology for all previous emails, was blocked and bounced right back. The 10th email contained a picture of you and your lonely, deranged smile, and was sent to someone new. Okay, I'm going to just do like two more, and we're going to get to the novel here. It's not you. It's not you. It's me and my preconceived notions built on fables and flicks and urban legends told to me over campfires and cocoa. So don't blame yourself. I came here with tunnel of love vision, filled with my father's ideals and my mother's idea of what is good for me and what's bad for my heart, health, and soul. I trust in these inner voices to gauge my outer vision in my quest for absolute perfection. And that's why I'm still single at 49. So this is my last, it's actually one of my favorite poems, just my personal favorite of mine, called Homespun. You don't have to be a private dick to know that Jane Doe is capable of writing a Dear John letter, and an average Joe like you won't be christened Sir by the Queen. So stop acting like Ripley and realize that, believe it or not, you may not break any Guinness World Records, and you might just barely keep up with the Joneses, and you never stood up to the man, and nobody ever called you tall, dark, or handsome, and you never had much fun with a blonde, and you may not be looking ahead at the best years of your life, but you still have a head on your shoulders and food on the table, and even if you can only count your blessings on one hand, you must deal with the cards you were dealt, even though you know the house always wins. You still have a chance to go out swinging. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the novel. Got a novel published? Yay!